60% of our planet has been consumed by the invaders.
We have the Hell Priest signal locked in. The target is marked, but the signal will not hold for long.
For it is he that they fear, not man, or his armies. They fear the mark of the beast.
This industrial campus was once the headquarters of the Resistance.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new video I'd like to dub the perfect level. In this video I'll be going back and looking at Doom Eternal, a game I consider to be one of the few masterpieces of our generation, and analyzing the level that stood out to me the most, the Ark Complex. It is a level of many opinions. Some consider it to be just another level in an otherwise almost perfect game. Others despise it for introducing the most controversial part of Doom Eternal, but we'll be coming back to that later. Now, for a level to exist within a game, as a designer I consider a multitude of factors, both story-wise and gameplay. In terms of story, a level must make sense as a continuation from the previous one and advance it even by just a little bit. This is the easiest part. The Doom guy is looking for the last health priest, who has gone into hiding, and only Samuel Hayden knows where to find him. Brilliant! So that sets up the story nicely for the level to transpire. However little people say they care about the lore and story of Doom, I am of the opinion that it is highly important, as it is the only thing keeping players playing aside from the stellar combat. And, as impressive as the combat is, going through a bunch of levels meaninglessly slaughtering demons would be more like a proof of concept for the combat rather than a full game. After all, the moment we meet Samuel Hayden again would carry very little to no significance were it not for the events of Doom 2016. But enough about the story, let's get into the meat of the video. And to start, let's talk about Doom Eternal's game. It has been described as many things, as rip and tear, or alternatively as Poggers AF. However, the closest comparison I could think of would be dancing. Stay with me now though. In dancing, you have two factors: the dance moves themselves, that can often look goofy when taken out of context, and the order of the moves that combines with the rhythm of the song you are dancing to create the full, satisfying experience. For anyone who has danced before or has played Dance Dance Revolution with their nephew because they had nothing better to do, can tell you performing accurately is extremely satisfying. Now, Doom 2016 did something like this, but that game was learning to walk so that Doom Eternal could full on Usain Bolt sprint. Going back to Doom 2016 after finishing Eternal, it felt incomplete. It was still fun, but there was something missing, a critical component that gives Eternal its edge. And as I pondered that, I realized several things. One, I was barely using 2 or 3 of the weapons put at my disposals, only switching weapons when I felt like trying out something new. And 2, I was moving slow. Now, I know it's insane to say that the pace of Doom is slow, but compared to Eternal, even on Ultra Violence, which is my preferred difficulty, that game felt slow, so much so that I could not finish my replay through. And that's when I realized the weakness of Doom 2016's combat. It's a loose system of guns and enemies being kept together by a theme, but Eternal took a slightly messy system of guns and enemies and made a smooth gameplay loop that, at its peak, flows perfectly like a choreographed dance. And so, let's bring it back to the arc. In Doom Eternal, the levels are usually built in a simple structure. You need to get from point A to point B, but there are one or two things stopping you from getting there. Go, fix those things, and then finish the level. Easy enough. On your way, you'll find combat encounters, traversal challenges, and secrets. The combat is the main dish. The traversal challenges are sides, and the secrets are the sauce. What that means is combat is there to reinforce and test everything the player should have learned up until that point about the gameplay loop, while creating a unique and fun challenge that, when performed accurately, empowers the player and makes them feel like they are this legendary slayer. The traversal challenges are there to offer some breathing room between combat encounters and create a through line from secrets to combat, while also offering their own unique, smaller, simpler challenges. And finally, secrets are additional content that offers up rewards and challenges for the players who go that extra mile to think through their actions and understand the level layout. Each aspect of this structure can be lengthened or shortened to accommodate the desired playing experience. In my opinion, most levels in Doom Eternal lengthen the traversal part of the game far more than necessary, and I found no other level that exemplifies the opposite of that better than the Ark complex. From the moment you enter in the Ark, you are in a continuous combat encounter. Every step forward you are greeted by enemies. Every time you get to a dead end, bam! Enemies break through the wall or jump down from a shaft, prolonging the combat and showing you the way forward. And even when there is some traversal, it's usually very short with enemies in between. Each combat arena is unique, and some are even hard for the first time you play through them. They test all the knowledge of each demon you have acquired so far, while throwing power-ups and drops at the player. At one point they throw the player into a closed-off room with two Hell Knights and expect you to know how to deal with them so that they don't get too close, while at another point they drop you down into a room filled to the brim with demons and the Berserker power-up and throw everything at the kitchen sink at you. It is impossible to understate how perfectly paced this level is. The secrets in this level are never too far off the beaten path. Most of them are hidden just out of reach but are still visible for those with a keen eye or who access the map often, so that you are never forced to disengage from that continuous combat for too long. Replaying through this level for this video was a treat from beginning to end. And honestly, sitting here writing this script, I want to go back and play through Doom Eternal all over again. Through continuity in its combat, which is the main aspect of Doom, Ark Complex maintains a continuous and delicate dance, going for far longer than any level has the right. Indeed, the level feels like it flies by, and it's over before it even begins. And what a way to finish! As the last combat encounter, this level introduces the spiciest enemy in all of Doom, the Marauder. I will be honest with you, the first time I played through this level, all the way up until I got to Hayden, I had forgotten that this was when he was introduced. And with a huge grin on my face the whole way through, I was like, oh now this is where the real Doom begins. Only for, right at the end, my smile to drop harder than the stock market of 1929. It was truly a horror movie moment. On one hand, As a designer, I completely understand why he is in the game. There is no easy way to design an enemy that could be seen as an equal to the image that pure hype has created for the Doom Slayer. In every combat encounter he is in, he demands your attention. He tries to make you mess up. He challenges your combat knowledge like no other enemy in the game. On the other hand, as a player, everything that makes him a good addition makes me hate him. I hate that in an already fast-paced chaotic combat encounter, he demands my attention, even though I have 7 other projectiles coming at me at all times. I don't like that he can summon that annoying dog and jump around like a lunatic, making it even harder for me to reach that ideal distance from him to continue playing the game. If the combat of Eternal can generally be classified as breakdancing, which is a funny image to imagine the Doomslayer, then the combat with the Marauder is more akin to a careful waltz. It's these two opposing design philosophies that lands the Marauder as a controversial boss, and why I'd say he's concurrently the weakest and the strongest aspect of the level. A Shyamalan level twist that isn't felt through the story, but rather through the gameplay. And that's the Arc Complex. The level that, for me, certified Eternal as the perfect sequel that not only follows up on, but elevates Doom 2016's legacy. A level that offers the Doom experience in a tight, compact and perfectly paced package that you could use as a benchmark for all Doom levels. If you play through it and don't like it, then it's highly unlikely you will like Doom. But that was it for me. Thank you very much for watching and stay safe out there.